In a situation like this, you ain't got no choice but to look at the real reason. The typical reason for somebody to look at this would be like, oh, you did this. Oh, they did that. They clicked up and did this. But that ain't even the reason why it happened. That ain't the main reason why God let things happen. The main reason God let things happen is the main reason why God let things happen is yet to be discovered. Yet to be discovered when it comes down to these type of situations. God ain't petty. God ain't petty like that. He just utilizes chess. He just he just utilizes chess pieces. What would I say the main reason be? To wake up. 'Cause I noticed in certain aspects of my life that I needed to wake up in, I needed complete silence. And I was just such a popular kid. And I was so well known that I can get anybody to be my friend, anybody to be my lover. So it was like my life had to be completely disarray, turned upside down. And I had to gather my thoughts. I had to be completely alone in the depths of solitude to learn who I'm still learning who I am, and what I'm capable of. But I had to be completely alone to learn exactly what I need to learn in this situation, because this situation was, for me to look at it any other way, would be foolish, bro. Because I know my father don't work like that. My father don't get down like that. So for me to look at it any other way, it'd be crazy. But it's more like this, the pause, the stagnation, the the evolution and the stagnation. I mean the evolving and the solitude, and the depths of solitude. That was the key. What have I learned? What was I supposed to learn? What did I get? What did I understand? And I realized, first and foremost, I realized you give the guy, you're gonna work anything out, no matter how bad it is. Secondly, once you give the guy and work on yourself, I used to tell men this when I was younger, but they always used to be fussing about a woman. I used to tell them, I can't say that now though, because it's so perverse out here, but I used to say, you gotta learn to be a man before you can get a woman. In other words, you gotta learn. You gotta go get your own security. Secure your security. And then that way, you already built up. You already complete when you get this woman. And then you need to understand yourself and love yourself. And the only way you're going to do that is love God first. And once you truly understand love, then you'll know how to love a woman. And then, once you get that, you must know that you can't pick your woman. God's going to have to pick her for you. And that means you're going to have to work the nature of the laws of energy and call your woman in to you. Not like literally call them. That's where all that come from. I'm talking about spiritually calling. don't force no woman to do something. And definitely, I used to see a lot of people hate a woman. It ain't nothing but program test. They'll come to you with the person they truly love, issues, and they'll vent to you about it. And they'll discourage you with all of it. And the worst thing you could do is participate in it and say, you need to leave him because he gonna do this. Because okay, you a man, so in your mind, you automatically gonna assume you know exactly what that man doing. So you gonna go ahead and put your input in there, but you really trying to just save hope for yourself. She ain't gonna want you if you do that regardless. Deep down inside, she might play with you a little bit, but she ain't gonna want you. So it's best to just secure yourself. But in my case, that wasn't the case. It wasn't about a woman. It was about me finding my place with God again. And I just learned that evolving with God. I learned that calling in a woman through the spiritual and stuff like that. And then you gotta watch them in the spirit. You're gonna watch them in the spirit try to get to you. And they're gonna stumble a lot, probably trying to get to you, but eventually they'll get to you. So what do you do till then? Keep on building on your security, keep working, hold faith, pray, meditate, and then okay, now we got patience that's gonna come in. I told you, I tell you, I look at these like entities, human body vessels, eternally. So you got patience. Patience gonna come through. And what patience role in all this is? To test your impatience. How would you react to God if God say, okay, you finna get this, we're gonna give you this is finna come through. And it don't come through in your time. You got a window of time. God done told you. You might have went to a preacher, somebody might have told you. This gonna happen for you real soon. And you done looked at YouTube, you done seen messages, you done got your hopes up. Okay. Alright, patience finna work on you now. And boom. You get hit. You crash. Because you realize that lover wasn't coming to you. Or somebody else lover came to them, a friend, a neighbor lover came to them. It wasn't to you. What you gonna do? You finna crash. You wanted that woman, but what about all the times you prayed to God and meditated to God and you told God, I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that. I got paint on my shirt, y'all. I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that. I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that. For you, God. I love you, God. Thank you, God. And then when you thought that woman would come, you really got into God. Thank you, God. Oh, God, hallelujah. Arms raised and everything. Oh, God, love you, God. And God looking at you. God cool now. God is where we get coolness from. God, every trait of a human being is from God, originated from God. So God gonna sit there and observe you. Okay, patience, do your thing. Patience gonna crash that hope that you had. Yeah. Patience. Patience want a little more patience out of you. Patience love company. Patience love company. Boom, crash. Oh, God, I don't like you, God. I hate you, good God. You ain't never been up to me, God. You crying. You gonna be crying. God, this, God, that. Now you showing your true color. Now you showing who you really is. You wasn't in it for God. You was in it for that lover. So you were basically using God for the lover. You were basically using God to get to a lover. You were basically using God so God could give you something. And you failed the test miserably. So now what's gonna happen? Now you finna wait a whole lot longer for this lover. Yeah, you might get lust, but it ain't gonna be no lover. Another crash. You're gonna go out with these lustful partners, and you might wind up in worse shape than you was prior because you was at least you was celibate, or at least you was to yourself. You go off on this lustful journey and you leave clean but come back contaminated. Another crash, pow. So guess what that's gonna do? The original lover that was supposed to come to you, that was clean and originally made for you, that God created for you, no longer gonna come to you, no longer can come to you now because you done crashed the burn out there. There's nothing that lover can do for you because now you done descended. You ain't ascended to the level you was. So now they gotta refine you another lover, another crash, pow. You gotta wait on that right there. Oh, Patience got a friend now. Patience got friends now. You ain't going nowhere for a while. Oh, now you sick, disgusted, and discouraged. So you know, that's just an example. Thankfully, by the grace of God, that was well, it sort of played with me a little bit because for my patient, when it comes to a woman, it's all about more understanding a woman. It ain't got nothing to do with getting a woman or having a woman. It's more about trying to understand a woman deeply, a little bit more deeper. And in other words, tolerance. So I wouldn't have been dealing with patience. I would have been dealing with tolerance. But, and that's what I'm working on. I'm doing pretty good, though. I'm doing pretty good because patience in the depth of solitude, I'm learning how to deal with my own shortcomings and with people around me, you know, dysfunctional behavior. So much so that if I did have a lover, I would appreciate it more. And in this situation, I'm not even lashing out. I'm not getting discouraged to the point where I'm getting aggressive. I'm actually finding understanding, even with those who I know that's hurting me behind my back, blackmailing me behind my back, talking about me behind my back. So if I can have understanding with those kind of people, I definitely could have understanding with a lover. Because it ain't always about you. It ain't always about what you want. So what we typically do when we get a lover, if that lover, we depend on that lover somehow. Even if you are the bread and butter, that lover say, I'm going to bring you a shirt back. I'm going shopping with a friend. I'll bring you something back. And I seen people do that. And that lover don't bring you something back. You go crazy. I bring you something to eat back. We're going out to eat. And that lover don't bring you something to eat. You go crazy. And they all test. They all test. I got to experience that with my ex-wife. They would have a Thanksgiving party and all this stuff. And I done bought all the food and everything. And I ate all of it up and I ain't getting none of it. I think she had a secret lover that was purposely making her do that though. And because I spent a lot of, Thanksgiving, you finna spend a lot of money on Thanksgiving food. I spent $500-600 on food. And it was all, that's another thing I learned. I learned how not to waste money on people, bro. Not to deal with people like that. In this situation, I learned how not to share my energy with nobody at all. If I can help it. I ain't gonna say that, but I learned how not to share my energy because I would be the kind of person on Thanksgiving spend $600-700 on food for a bunch of people who won't even invite me to their dinners and won't even, and I just give, knowing that already knowing that they wouldn't do the same for me. And so in this situation, I learned that I ain't gotta give nobody nothing. I learned I ain't gotta give you nothing. And when you ask, just as kindly as you ask, it's just as kindly I'm gonna say no. you know. And, that's what I learned. I learned how to really just deal with people on. I was already pretty good with it because I always been a type of businessman, but I would always extend too much help, somewhat so to the point where it would lead openings to a demonic spirit or entity or something. But not no more. That's over with. By me being in the depths of solitude to this point and needing help, and not only did they not help me, but they went against me. Like I said, I would go to, when I was still out and about, I would go visit people, and I might have a female friend there, and she might be like, when we leave, she might be like, they said on the phone not to let you get up. And in other words, that's basically telling me to keep their foot on my neck. So basically the girl just told me that the whole community basically was against me and forcefully holding me down in her own little words. So when I realized that, it was over. I cut everybody off. ASAP. I cut everybody off ASAP. But that's what I had to learn in this situation. Not to overly give. But that's just still on a physical level. The greatest learning that I got out of this whole experience is what I learned in the spiritual. Man, it's on a whole nother magnitude, bro. It's like, I don't even want to really talk about it no more. I really rather write about it, talk to a publisher and shit. Because this is a powerful book. It'll be a powerful book. It'll be a hot selling book, bro. Just like, I ain't gonna say it's good. It won't be as good as the Bible, but it will be a hot selling book, bro. It'll be a holy grail, I'll tell you that. It'll be a holy grail. And I think that was the main reason for me to get in this situation. So I could really have that peace and harmony with the spiritual side. Because I had already kind of perfected my fleshly desires before I even got in this situation. So the little bit that I had to learn in this situation was more so, it didn't have nothing to do with who did what. It didn't have nothing to do with why they did what they did it for. It had to do with why God let it happen. And once I realized that, I knew my Father was trying to tell me something, talk to me. So once I realized that, I started embracing. That's the only thing I don't like about social media. When you go on there, it's always somebody giving you false hope, but it's almost like they have to give you false hope because you're a ticking time bomb. You looking at your situation. You looking at the hardship in the situation. You looking at who done what to you. You looking at how love was turned on you. And now understanding that that's a program. And these programs turned on you because God trying to tell you something. God trying to get your attention. Beforehand, when everybody was loving on you and stuff, couldn't nobody get your attention. Couldn't nobody get your attention because you ain't focused. Whatever your role is and your mission is on earth, it's important for you to get to it, and it's probably finna come up. And now we need your attention. And you fail to give your attention because you are distracted with all the distractions of the fleshly desires. So we alleviate the distractions from your fleshly desires, and now you can grow properly. And once you grow like that, male or female, your lover that's calling your lover in. That's calling your lover in. Especially a soulmate, a twin or twin flame. They even if they're across the world, as you evolve, they evolve. Problem is that they just saying, I don't know how it affects you, but I don't think it's too good though. But as you evolve, somehow they evolve. That's why I tell people find your twin, because the karma is gonna be good. Because if you find a different person that's not part of your family tree, then it might be an offsetting energy. I learned all that in here, y'all. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for God grabbing my attention and altering my perception of life in a more healthy way, because it was warped. Now it's not warped, it's unwarped. It's straightened, or it's straightening out. And now I know what to do when it comes down to friends. I still ain't really into that. I'm still more towards business associates, because I'm gonna lean more. If I got a friend, it would be with God and my family that I create, and pour in it the right way, and not the unhealthy way that we all been programmed throughout all our life to treat our family. Pour in it the right way, the way God would pour into us, the way God love us. Because I had to tell God the other day, I'm so thankful God don't act like a lot of women. Cause women the closest thing to God on earth. They could create. And man, what if God treated us like women treated us? It'd be over. It wouldn't even be a world to live in. It wouldn't even be a world to live in. Bro. So thank God don't act like that. Not all women, but most women. There's something about that power of creativity. But now I'm working on my thoughts. And I ain't really worried about the way I speak. I speak good. And sometimes the way I'm built, I'm supposed to tell you something that you don't want to hear. But I'm gonna tell it to you respectfully. Your friends want to tell you, but they're not gonna tell you, or they intentionally not telling you because they're using you in some fashion or form. I'll be the one to let you know this is really what's going on with that little group you got. And hopefully they take it well, because that's something that I can't get rid of. That's a gift. You just gotta grow and evolve into understanding. So yeah, y'all, that's it right there. That's what I learned in this situation. It was like, and then I learned how important it is for our vessels to stay clean so God can dwell in it. I learned that's that's more important than everything. It's like keeping that vessel clean, keeping bad DNA out of your DNA, keeping drugs out of your system, anything that alter your mind, complete your thoughts. I learned all that, and I learned the importance in it, Because when you're born and raised in the slum and stuff like this, you are programmed from the beginning to have to take stuff to numb the pain of your situation. And in this situation, I chose not to numb the pain except for God, and praying, meditating, reading the Bible. And I was actually doing it at one point to the point where I wanted to see if I get tired of it, and I can't even get tired of it. It's like, it's an extension of myself at this point. And y'all know about the stir. The stir feels so good. It's another high. I wish they let me elevate. I'm scared. I know I'm getting to the point where God won't let me elevate. He gonna let me elevate a couple more times, but I think I ain't gonna elevate too much more, because I'm on this 3D. I'm on this physical realm. If I elevate anymore, it'll be unfair to everything around me, I think. But I got like two more levels to elevate. And then it's over, bro. I mean, I will feel like a superhero for real then. And I'm just taking my time getting that though, because I'm actually enjoying the process of elevation through meditation. And I'm enjoying God's company. And I realized something else that was vitally important. Because he always did this to me since I was little, when God protected me in situations. I just didn't know how. So, but now I know. I kept saying, 2 years, I stayed by myself for some reason. I can't get nobody. I've been this dark night of the soul somehow. But it was all because God needed to dwell in me. God don't dwell in sin. God don't dwell like, you could be cleansed, period. You perfect. But the people around you are imperfect. The people around you are not clean. The people around you are nasty, or something's off about them. And now, acceptance is when you gotta stay with certain people, like my situation. But God gonna send energy to separate them out of your energy to keep them from attack. Believe it now. Gonna keep them from attacking you to the point, and then the little way that they do attack you, that's your opportunity to grow and evolve, because that's God's way of telling you, okay, you need to grow and evolve in this department. So I'm gonna continue to let these people attack you this way, because it get under your skin a little bit too much, and we need to get rid of that evil. We need to get rid of that darkness inside of you. We need to get rid of that demon inside of you, so that you can learn to deal with complex situations in a more humane nature. So I got that situated, and I needed that, thank God. And so God keep those certain energies in your energy. They won't go nowhere, so quit complaining about them. They there so you can learn how to properly elevate out of them situations, and watch how God alleviate the situation for you. So um, I learned all that, y'all, but it came with acceptance. I had to accept my situation. I couldn't look at this situation like, oh, my ex-wife did this, they kidnapped my child, and the police did this, the government doing this, and the bottle this, and the boss this. Even though I acknowledged all that stuff, I didn't let that stuff drown me, because it really was God. We talking about God here. It ain't nothing God can't move out your way. It ain't nothing God can't move out your way. So me pouring energy into those distractions would have only been another foolish move. So I wanted to prove to God that I could go through all this without getting under my skin. And now I'm at the last. I'm at the last run of it, almost to the finish line. And hell, I gotta say, I'm proud of myself. I got a lot to learn still. I got a long way to go still, but the progress is way more progressive. The progress is way more successful than I could imagine in the short window of time that I've been going through this. 5 years ain't nothing really, and 10 years ain't nothing. To learn what God done gave me so far in that little window of time, I ain't told y'all nothing really. I've been beating around the bush, chopping it down. So if you dissect it, you try to take it, you just gonna screw up yourself and everybody else around you. So I really ain't told nobody nothing. I've been really keeping that information in the Akashic records. It's like I know how to work over there. It's like I can go over there and pull a book out the Akashic record and bring it over here into the physical, boy. It's like I learned a lot. And we all can do this. It ain't just me. Oh, he this and that. They didn't remember how they put stipulations on everybody to keep you from ascending. Y'all don't. I mean, the whole purpose of God putting his children, bringing his children on earth and letting them live a human experience is not for the children. They already God's kids. It's for y'all. If anything, if it's going to help God's kids in any way, it's going to help God's kids learn to be disciplined with all the power they have on the other side, so they won't be irate with it. And understanding how to have pity on people like humans and stuff like that. That's it. Everything else, though, is for y'all to learn and y'all to advance off of. Problem is, y'all got to learn how to separate stealing and taking and killing people from actually learning. So I guess that's gonna be a test for y'all. But outside of that, y'all, that's it. I thank God for this situation, as you can see.